Assalamu alaikum dear students. Welcome back to the topic mechanical properties of fluid. In the last lecture we had seen the concept of surface tension, but its definition is yet not done. So today we are going to define the surface tension definition as well as surface energy. In the last lecture we had seen that concept of surface tension was like, we all know that the liquid surface always tries to minimize its surface area. So on the basis of this concept, we had studied molecular theory of surface tension. Now today we are going to define what is surface tension exactly. Before that, we should know that this is the natural tendency of a liquid surface, that it will always minimize its surface area. It will always try to contract its surface area. That is why almost all the celestial objects in the universe are raindrops or liquid drops are almost spherical in shape. So let us consider one surface of a liquid. Here we have taken a surface of a liquid. Suppose it is a container containing water and we are observing it from the above side. So here we have taken a liquid surface into account. Now what we will do, what will happen if you place one needle on the surface of a liquid. Suppose this needle is a grease needle. Just grease it with oil or ghee, whatever you want, and place it on the surface of water. You will observe that even the density of a needle is quite high, but it will not sink to the bottom. Why does it not? Why it does not sink to the bottom? So let's have the concept here. We have taken this imaginary needle on the grease needle on the surface of a liquid. Because of it, you will see that suppose you are placing one pen on the surface of this plain paper. This surface is exactly flat. But what will happen when you place one pen? You will see a depression in the surface because of the weight of this pen, and its area will increase. Suppose this was the flat surface of a liquid. When you place a needle, you will see a certain deformation at the point of contact where you have placed the needle. So this deformed surface, you will see that it has increased area as compared to the plain surface of a liquid. And that is what liquid does not want, any increment in its surface. So if you want to remove this deformation from the surface, you will need to extend this layer of a liquid from the two sides. You need to stretch it. So you can say that the surface of a liquid is acting as the stretch elastic membrane. It does not want any deformation, because as the deformation created on the surface of a liquid, its surface area increases, and as surface area increases, potential energy content of the surface also increases. So this is the natural tendency of every object to occupy the minimum state of energy, so that the minimum amount of work should be done by the object. So that is why here the liquid surface will try to minimize its surface area, and one inbuilt force and one automatic force will develop on these two sides of the surface. It will try to stretch the deformation created over here. So in order to remove the deformation, you need to stretch the layer in this way. So that is why here we have taken one example. It is the overview of the surface of a liquid contained in a glass. So when you place a grease needle, or you can say when you draw one imaginary line. Obviously it is an imaginary line over here. So once you draw the imaginary line over here, the liquid, one kind of deformation will be created over this entire length. So the liquid surface will come in a state of tension or in a state of force. You will see that all the lateral forces, or you can say all the tangential forces, will come into account in order to make its surface smooth. So these forces are called as force due to surface tension. Let us denote these forces which are developed on the surface of a liquid as F. So because of the deformation, the liquid surface appears to be in a state of tension. That tension is called as surface tension. And why it is taking a state of tension? Because the liquid surface has deformed, its area has been increased. So in order to minimize the surface area, the liquid surface will appears in a form of tension because of these tangential forces acting on this imaginary line. So that is why this surface tension is defined as force acting per unit length acting at right angle to an imaginary line drawn on the surface of a liquid. This is the imaginary line that we had taken into account by the example of a grease needle. So on this imaginary line, you will see that all the forces are perpendicular, while on the surface of a liquid, these forces are parallel, or you can say tangential. So force acting per unit length, this force per unit length is called as surface tension of a liquid. So we can write the formula of a surface tension as F upon L. Well, this L is the length of this imaginary line or length of a needle. So hence, in this way we can define the surface tension. Similarly, you can write one more formula. Force due to surface tension will have the formula T into L, where T is the surface tension and L is the length of this imaginary line. So it is quite simple to have the formula of surface tension. Suppose instead of a needle, you are placing one ring, grease ring of metal, which is very thin, and place it on the surface of a water. What you are going to observe then? The forces due to surface tension will come into account all round the ring. All these forces will be parallel. So at that time, what length you'll have to consider? That will be the length of the ring. So length of a ring is nothing but the circumference of a circle over here. This circle is having a circumference 2 pi r. So this L will be replaced by 2 pi r. So in this way, you'll have to take the example of various objects of various shape. Now let us find out the unit of this surface tension. What is the unit of force? Surface tension will have the unit. Unit of force is Newton. Unit of length is meter. So it is Newton per meter. Or let's have the dimension. We all know that the force is having the dimension m raised to 1. It is kg meter per second square. So m raised to 1, L raised to 1, T raised to minus 2 divided by length is having the dimension only L raised to 1. So this L raised to 1 is going to cancel. Then the surface tension is found to have a dimension as M1 L0 T raised to minus 2. This is the dimension of surface tension. Now let us quickly define another term, which is surface energy. Let us see what is surface energy over here. In the last lecture, we had seen that in a container we had containing liquid, we had considered 3 molecules of a liquid. Molecule A completely well within a liquid, molecule B just below the surface of a liquid, and molecule C which is there on the surface of a liquid. So we had taken this into account while studying the molecular theory. So we all know that the molecule B and molecule C will be acted upon a force called as inward pull. The forces acting on the molecule B is inward pull, as well as on C is also inward pull. Remaining rest of the molecule of the water will try to pull this molecule within the surface so that the surface area decreases. So if you want to increase the surface area of a liquid, you'll have to bring some of the molecule from the interior of a liquid to the top surface. So in order to do this work, we will have to do certain work against the inward pull. If you want to bring this molecule from the interior of a liquid to the surface of a liquid, we'll have to do some work against the inward pull. So this work done will be stored in the form of potential energy. So each molecule which is present on the surface of a liquid will have the higher potential energy as compared to the molecule which is there completely within the liquid. So as the surface area increases, surface energy also increases. So let us define this surface energy. You can say that potential energy stored, it is defined as potential energy stored per unit surface area of a liquid surface. So it is called as surface energy. So potential energy will be stored in the form of work done. And why we are doing the work done? Because to increase the surface area of a liquid, we'll have to do the work against this inward pull. So surface energy is going to have the formula potential energy stored per unit surface area. What is the unit of potential energy? It is joule. Unit of area is meter square. Unit of surface energy is joule per meter square. When you take the dimension of the potential energy and the dimension of area, you are going to get the dimension of surface energy as m1, L0 and T raised to minus 2. So from these two dimensions, we'll come to know that both surface tension and surface energy are having same dimension. So let us see, we can say that these two quantities, surface tension and surface energy, are dimensionally equal. Let us see what is the exact relation between surface tension and surface energy. Are they going to give rise a same concept about the liquid surface? So let's see what is the relation between surface tension and surface energy. Before that, let's have a quick revision on the definition. What is surface tension? Force acting per unit length, F upon L. And what is surface energy? It is the potential energy stored per unit surface area. Now let's see the relation between surface tension and surface energy. Whether they are numerically, we all know that they are dimensionally equal. They are having the same dimension. But let's see whether they are numerically equal or not. For that, what we will do, we will take one rectangular frame of a wire. This is the rectangular frame of a wire PQRS. But this rectangular frame is made in such a way that the wire QR, this wire QR, is movable on these two parallel sides of the rectangle. Means you can move the wire QR like this. It can be slided over these two parallel sides of a rectangle. And after that, what we will do, let's dip this rectangular frame in a solution, in the soap solution. Dip this rectangular frame into a soap solution. What you will observe here, you will see that one soap film will be created in this rectangular area PQRS. though the soft film is created and in the area PQRS, you will also see that this soft film is also a film of a liquid, so it will try to minimize its surface area. And this wire QR is movable. It can be easily slided over this side PQ dash and SR dash. So liquid film will try to pull this wire in order to decrease the surface area. So this QR will, you will see that the QR is going to move towards the side PS. So once it has moved in this direction, you will see that the surface area of a film will decrease, and that is what the liquid surface wants. So if you want to restore this QR on its original position, what you will have to do? Obviously, the force due to surface tension acting on the wire QR is F. Let capital F is the force due to surface tension acting on this wire. So we all know that the force due to surface tension is having the formula T into L, where L is a length of this wire. Now we all know that once you dip this rectangular frame into a soap solution, two soap film will be created. One is above the rectangular surface and one is below the rectangular surface. So there will be two lengths of the wire which is in contact with the surface film. So we can write the formula for the force acting due to the surface tension. F is equal to T into 2L. 2 times the L, because there will be two soap films. So give this one as equation number 1. Remember that this is the formula of force due to the surface tension. Now what we will do, let's move the wire QR through a small distance, say dx. In order to move the wire QR, you will have to apply the force, say F dash. F dash is the force applied on the wire QR in order to increase the surface area of a film. So in this way, once the wire QR is displaced from its position, the soap film will be formed in the entire area region P, Q dash, R dash and S. So in this way, the surface area of a soap film will increase. So in order to increase the surface area, you need to apply the force which is exactly opposite to the force due to surface tension. And that force should be exactly equal to the force due to surface tension. So here our force F dash is equal to F. We have applied the equal amount of force in order to increase the surface area of a soap film. And the distance through which the wire QR has moved, let that distance be dx. So obviously, in order to move the wire QR, we will have to perform the work against the inward pull over here. So W is the work done on the wire QR in order to increase the surface area of a soap film. So W is nothing but it is having the formula F into dx, force into displacement. This is the formula of work done. We all know it. Now let us substitute the value of F from equation 1. F can be written as it is 2T into 2L, and dx will remain as it is into dx. Now I can write this equation as T into 2L into dx. What is this L into dx? L into dx is the area of the increased rectangular frame. And why the factor 2 appears over here? 2 is nothing but because of the 2 soap film has been created over here. So you can say that this much 2L into dx, it is representing the increased area of a soap film. So I can write it as, this is the increased area, you can write it as dA. And we will also write this work done as dW. Small amount of work is done. So work done will also be written as dW. So dW is equal to T into dA. Now I can write this T is equal to dW upon dA. This is equation number 2, which is very important. Surface tension is nothing but the amount of work done per unit surface area. But we all know that work done is nothing but the amount of energy stored. So I can write the formula of surface tension T as, at the place of work done, I can write potential energy per unit surface area dA. What do you say about this potential energy per unit surface area? Yes, this potential energy per unit surface area is nothing but the surface energy. So, from this equation, we will come to know that the two quantities, surface tension and surface energy, they are not only dimensionally equal, but they are numerically equal. Means surface tension and surface energy both are giving rise a same concept. They are having the same formula as well. So let's quickly revise this derivation, which is quite simple. Here we had taken one rectangular frame of a wire. It is on which the wire QR is movable on the parallel surface of the rectangle, and we just dipped it inside a soap solution. Once it is dipped, you will see the soap film will be created on the above side and on the below side of the rectangular surface. So number of soap film created will be 2. And we all know that liquid soap film will try to minimize its surface area. So that is why the wire QR will be acted upon by a force. That force is called as force due to surface tension, and hence it will try to move towards the side PS. As the wire QR move towards the side PS, then only the surface area of the rectangular frame decreases. So here we have written the formula for the force. Force due to surface tension is T into L. But how many length of the wire QR is in contact with the soap film? 2 length, because there will be two soap film. So that is why the formula of force due to surface tension will be written as T into 2L. Then if you want to increase the surface area of this soap film, you need to apply the equal amount of force in opposite direction. So for that purpose, some work is supposed to be done against the force acting on it, and after that you will see that the surface area of a soap film has been increased. So small amount of work done in order to increase the surface area of a soap film is dW. It is equal to force into displacement. This is the general formula of the work done. Now from the equation 1, we all know that the formula of force is T into 2L into dx. Then this 2L into dx is nothing but the increase in the surface area of a soap film. So that is why we have written it as dA. Then the formula of surface tension we are going to get over here is dW upon dA. This is very important formula. Then after that, we all know that this dW is nothing but the small work done. So there will be a small amount of energy increment. So that energy is potential energy, as work done and potential energies both are having the same concept. So this is potential energy per unit surface area, and this potential energy stored per unit surface area is nothing but the surface energy of a liquid. So from this derivation we will come to know that both the things, surface tension and surface energy, they are having same concept. They are numerically equal as well as dimensionally equal. Hope you will have understood the topic. Thank you.